What's your relationship with music now, though?
I want to say we married.
Yeah,
Yeah, we married.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Speak on that, though.
Shit, I wake up, music. I go to sleep, music. Breathe, music. When you want something as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you know it's for you.
What's up? It's your What Is Done, and we back with another Sons of Florida podcast. Man, I got the distinguished honor of sitting right here with somebody that, she came from the mud, but now she's standing on straight melodies. She's standing on straight, melodic. I mean, her sound is what she's standing on now. Mitchie.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Mitch Jones, and we are here. See my dog out on the stat pattern gear. Shout out to C Stunner. Thank you for having me on your podcast. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Yeah, just jumping right into it, like you said. Before anything though, you know, life is crazy, and we got to do a mental check. How's your mental?
Well, I will say like that kind of like tears at my heartstrings because um I will say like my mental is okay. Could it be better? Yes, but that's what I got the music here for. So
Yeah, yeah,
definitely, I appreciate you for asking me that.
yeah. That's first and foremost because, like you said, even before the camera started, you lost someone near and dear to you.
Hmm.
Can you speak on it a little bit, or is
Oh
that
yeah.
is that something
Uh,
you feel comfortable with?
yeah, I feel comfortable.
Yeah,
So yeah, I lost my mom. That was like my biggest supporter when it came to the music. Like my mom loved it. I think I was into music. Like I started at like 5. You know, 14. I started. Never been to the studio, but just beating on desks and stuff. Me and my brother, and stopped. And I want to say I was like 26 or 27 when I really started doing music. And my mom was on go. Dialysis wasn't really stopping nothing for her. Like she was there if she could be there. So
yeah.
yeah.
So with that being said, um, you took a hiatus during that time. What does that look like? For you taking that hiatus. Like what all happened for you to stop making music during that time?
Man, life was really life. And like I had legal trouble. Then, my mom was sick. She passed away. Then, like, literally, I want to say like a month later, my grandma passed. So it was just like life was like really had its foot on my neck, and I was letting it win. Like I want to say the only thing that was really keeping me pushing was the kids. Like I was booking sessions day prior. I'm hitting them up. I'm sorry I can't come because like I just was not in the mental space to stick my foot off in a studio. So I missed out on a lot of time where I could have probably been where I wanted to be at, but God's timing is perfect timing. So
Right, right. So with that being said, too though, God timing is the right timing. Um, you came back into the music
full throttle.
full throttle.
Yeah. On their ass.
Yeah,
Like shit.
like you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So um, with that being said, you full throttle. And what's your mindset now though?
My mindset is like, I'm gonna get there or I'm gonna get there. I have to mentally put that in my mind. I gotta manifest it. I can't leave any room for doubt. Like I didn't come this far to get this far. Like it's I gotta surpass everything. The mission is bigger. I done got rid of a lot of dead weight that was holding me back. Like I feel like I'm
Speak on it.
unstoppable.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm unstoppable right now. So just speaking on it, just prior, you feel me? Sometimes you find yourself surrounded by people that, you feel like they're happy for you, but deep down inside, somebody trying to dim your light, you know. So for the longest, when I first started doing music, you know, I had a significant other around. Didn't really seem like they were full throttle like I felt like they should be, you know. But it's all love.
Yeah.
It's all love.
It sound like to me though, you know, not trying to be in your business or pride, but it sound like you had you were sleeping with the enemy almost.
Almost. Definitely. Like I said, it's all love though. And
It's all love. Yeah.
you gonna see me on any platform you scroll through, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I'm there, baby.
That's right. So what does music mean to you?
Music, I hold near and dear. Music is like one of my kids. Like, I love it so much, man. Like, it is very indescribable. So, you know, I really hate that I did take that hiatus and, you know, gave up on something that I was really passionate and driven about.
Yeah, that's right. So before music, who was Mitch Jones? Before, you know, you even you know, spoke on a track. Who was Mitch Jones before everything?
Sure. Mitch Jones is just strictly, you know, I went to dental school. So it was just really kids, home,
Yeah.
work, you know, regular, that's it. You know, music was always in the back of my mind, not the front of my mind, if I could say that.
Yeah. Speak on it a little bit.
Like I always, you know, wanted to do it. It's just things were in the way, like, dang, what if they don't like me? Because originally I'm not from Fort Myers. I grew up here. I've been here. I'm from North Carolina. So, you know, automatically, like, my verbiage is different from the typical, you know, person from here. So, you know, they always catch it. Oh, you're not from here. I mean, I'm from here. You know, I've lived here all my
Right.
life. But, you know, I go back home too as well, which is Rocky Mount, North Carolina. So,
Right.
like, I always had that doubt, like, dang, what if they don't like me? Or, you know, the image that I have, most people, oh, I thought you were gay. But why would you think that? Because if a white person dressed the way I dress, it is cool. You know, black person do it, the black community always assume, like, oh, she's gay or he's, you know, something, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like I said, we here now, so.
Yeah. So with that being said, we here now, but um, like you said, North Carolina, how did that shape your sound though? And from North Carolina to, you know, Fort Myers.
I guess you kind of just get the best of both worlds, you know. Like, I'm into big Erica Badu, Tribe Called Quest, you know, Rakim, stuff like that. And then you swing over here, and then you got Frank Glennie. I'm a big Frank Glennie fan.
Shout out to Frank.
Crazy.
Yeah, shout out to Crazy.
Lil Foss.
Yeah, shout out
You
Foss.
know, like, and shout out to my nigga Crumb Snatcher, free crumb.
Yeah,
crumb.
Free
You know,
Crumb.
that was one of the first songs we ever heard when we first came to Fort Myers.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got the best of both worlds, you know. So.
That's right. Yeah. So it's pretty much a lot more grime that you was introducing to your palette, you know, coming to Fort Myers pretty much, you know. But when you think about those times and coming into the person that you are, what can you say that's different from that old person to now?
Mentally, I'm a lot more stronger, you know, like, and God is more involved this time around, you know, like before I was kind of, you know, in and out.
Yeah.
But I'm focused this time. Like, nothing can stop me this time. I'm very focused. Very focused.
Did you ever, like you said, it seemed like you kind of had kids at a younger age, and I shouldn't be speculating, but
No.
do you feel like you was moving fast at some point?
I wouldn't say I was moving fast. So I know most people look at me, they think I'm in my 20s. I'm literally 32. So I had my first one. Yeah, it was young, 21. But my other two, like, they were definitely planned. So I can't really say I was moving fast. You know, I was basically trying to create a family, you know. And now I'm at that point where, like I said, I got to start, you know, doing for me too and for them, you know, like I'm always do for them, but I got to get me too, you know. So, and music is what I love. So, got to keep at it and stay at it.
Wow, wow, wow. So, like you said, though, you know, God is at the forefront and things are a lot different now. So, what version of your old self had to die?
Procrastination.
Speak on it.
I was procrastinating like a
Yeah.
motherfucker. You know, like now, let's do it, let's get it done, you know, without a doubt. Like, and I was just so doubtful when I first started, you know. I would like to say support probably played like a big thing, and anybody could speak on it perspective, but from like an artist perspective, you know, 50 people say they going the day of,
Well,
nobody shows, you know, like,
maybe
so
one or two, right?
sometimes none. You get one or two, sometimes none. But one monkey don't stop no show. So it's kind of like, if you want to do it, do it.
Yeah,
Because
that's
can't
right.
nobody do it for you.
Right. So, with that being said, though, what's your relationship with music now, though?
I want to say we married.
Yeah,
Yeah, we married.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Speak on that, though.
Shit, I wake up, music. I go to sleep, music. Breathe, music. You know, when you want something as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you know it's for you.
That's right. So, is music something that you love, then, pretty much?
Yeah.
And with that being said, um, what's your responsibility that you feel like you have to take with music now?
Um, I want to say really like just rolling with the punches and showing up, you know, like this is what I want to do. So I got to get up and make it happen,
Yeah.
you know? Like I said, no room for procrastination.
So, would you say music saved you in a way?
Music has saved me, you know?
Speak on it, though.
I would say music has saved me in so many ways. Like, one thing that I am noticing is my best music is made at nighttime. So I'll usually book, you know, a little later session to where I feel like I'm a little more free. My mind is free. You know, I done tapped out of, well, not really tapped out of, you know, Amanda, you know, mother, Mitch, sister, you
Mhm.
know, aunt type of ordeal. Um, I don't know. I feel like it just brings out another element, you know,
Yeah.
feelings, stuff like that.
Do you feel like people know the real you?
No, no.
What would you say is the real version of you, though?
I mean, when the cameras ain't rolling and stuff, you know, it's kind of like Amanda versus Mitchie, you
Yeah.
know. So I have to paint this picture for Mitchie, which it's not a fabricated persona, but I also have to channel real life and, you know, a facade type of or thing, you know, like I'm a mother regardless, you know,
Yeah.
I'm a sister regardless. uh it's really not too much of a difference between, you know, the music and the personal, but I just try to keep personal, you know, per
That's
se.
right. So you keep mentioning the kids, and so is that who you do it for?
Oh yeah, my youngest, which is 4, I had took her to a video shoot. I want to say it was back in October. So she really had no clue. Like, you know, I'm playing my songs through the speaker and stuff. She knows the songs, but don't know the, you know, the face behind the lyrics and stuff like
Wow.
that. So I had took my kids to a video shoot,
Mhm.
and we started shooting, and she was looking in amazement like, hey, that's you type of ordeal. Like she
Wow.
was like,
Wow.
oh my God.
Yeah, she didn't even realize her
Yeah.
mama was the
Yeah.
one that was making the music.
Right. So I see how they light up. Even my nephew, shout out to my nephew Katie. Hey, That gotta be the number one Mitch fan I ever came across. Like,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. So you see, the love coming from, home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's starting out right there.
Oh yeah.
What does music say um to you when you're making it? How do you create? Do you write or do you freestyle or a little bit of both?
So I do a little bit of both. Usually how I go about it, I'll probably listen to a beat like 50 times before I actually feel like, okay, this is what I'm gonna say. Cause I really want to like get in tune with the beat. I just don't want to go in there, rapping and like I really want to be in tune with the beat, on one accord with the beat. So I might write a couple bars, and then after that it's just I float. I try to be as free as I want to be, like it don't always have to be so structured.
Right, right, right. So if somebody listening to you, um, what's the message that you're relaying to them?
I mean, it's a variety of messages that I'm relaying to. Most of my music is relatable because I speak from a pain perspective. I speak from a getting money perspective. My newest project, which a lot of people were like, okay, this is a different Mitch. This is like the mature Mitch, the Kid Free Weekend, which by the way is out on every platform.
That's right.
This project, I definitely want to say this has to be like my best music. Like you got the heartbroken Mitchie,
Mm-hmm.
it's a song called Stella's Groove. And then we got that song Wildin' Out, which kind of, shows a different side of me on there. And then there's a song called Janitor as well. So, um, yeah.
Yeah. So, um, what's the hardest thing that you had to deal with? You know, it could be music wise, it could be life, but I think I already know. But how did you cope with getting over that?
Um, I will say like it's probably something that we kind of try to run away from in the Black community. I mean, it may work or it may not work, but therapy like really saved me, you know?
Yeah,
Like I guess it's a listening without judging type of thing. And then there's probably things that ain't never been healed from, me being a child, and I'm just surpassing it on to my adult life. And then it's like,
yeah,
okay, I got open wounds and I'm bleeding on people and wondering why things are the way they are when I'm actually the problem too.
yeah.
So therapy
So
definitely saved me.
yeah, so s- therapy is the thing that help you and push you through, those hardest times.
Hmm.
But what was those hardest times though? And I think you already spoke on it, so we can probably move forward from that though,
It would probably be like the death of my mother, and
for
then
sure.
like little things that I kind of ran away from and didn't fully heal. So
Yeah,
you
speak
know,
on it a little bit. Some of the things you ran away
I would
from.
say like relationship problems, um, financial fuck ups where I could have done better, or you know, just mentally, things that I was just running from that I needed to face.
Yeah. If it was something today that make you stop making music, what would it be?
Nothing,
Nothing.
nothing.
So nothing ain't stopping you from
No, nothing
from
can't stop me.
not from this point on.
Nah, the only thing that can stop me is just me, and I can't do that right now.
Yeah. So with that being said though, it's love there for like you said already.
Whole lot of love.
Um let's get into a little something a little bit lighter, a little bit a little more lighthearted. You feel me?
Hmm.
So when you think about artists from the city, you already said, some of the people you first started listening to coming
Hmm.
through. Like, let's get into your top five.
All right, so I don't have a top five,
Right.
respectfully, but I do have some people that I do tap into. And if I don't mention you, is not intentionally, like it's a lot of us, and I've learned this going to open mics, but like to start off, Junior Boy.
Shout out Junior Boy.
That's an industry polished artist. Like a lot of us need to be taking notes, So, and God is great, as you can see through him. God gave him another fighting chance. So, I hope
most
he
definitely.
take heed, and which he is. I see it. Another one of my favorites is Lil Burnham. I don't know if you ever heard of Lil Burnham, Raheem Moreland. Great.
Yeah.
Great artist.
Okay.
Haven't really seen too much as far as like visuals and stuff, but I do see him doing like snippets. Another one of my favorite artists would be Hollow Tip. I don't know if you heard of Hollow,
for
but
sure. Shout out to Hollow
yeah,
Tip.
definitely fuck with Hollow. Jay Black too.
Shout out to Jay Black.
Very underrated gem. Like,
no, most definitely.
He's a definitely unrated gem. And then I like Rara. I definitely like Rara.
So you'll put Rara in your top 5 right now?
I'll put him in top artists that I like, and I'm gonna say TD too. And I don't want people to just think I'm choosing TD because that's like my people, but TD is dropping like every day, damn near every week. Putting it in people's face. He working for sure.
Yeah. So with that being said, and we'll go back to just some of them top 5 too, though. But what would you tell that younger version of yourself that met you before, the person who you become now? What would you tell her to, just looking back on her, and if you can speak to what would them words say?
Should have put your ass in gear.
Yeah.
I was backpedaling, like I was putting my foot on the gas, taking it off, just very timid,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll tell her, hey, get yourself in gear.
Yeah. Off your ass and on your feet.
What would you tell, not even that old version of yourself, but a young girl that's coming up in the music industry, or that's a young artist? What would you tell her though?
It's a big thing in the industry for women. Like it's hard. It's definitely hard. I've been doing it since 2019, so I can definitely say I've seen everything that women have talked about. You do not have to sell your body parts to get to where you need. It may take you longer. It may take you longer for sure, but it's definitely not the way to go.
Yeah. Anybody want to shout out?
La Morena. It's a couple other female artists. I've seen the young girl Mivi.
Yeah, shout out to Mivi.
Yeah. And then like I don't know many others, so please don't take that to heart. But definitely those two. I see them working. Oh, also Big Raw.
Shout out to Big Raw.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mivi. Where can people find you at?
You can find me everywhere. I'm on YouTube, Spotify, DistroKid, TikTok, Mitch Jones, everywhere. Except for Instagram is Mitchie_Mitch239.
Hey, I want to shout out Brian Lopez, my barber. You can find him at Busky.com. And I want to shout out my other sponsor, Corey Shapiro at Vintage Frames. This has been another Sons of Florida podcast. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you for having me.